All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium. All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the New England Patriots. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. Danny Shelton able to get in there and drop him behind the line. Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Jackson from the shotgun. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them, in a sense, and gotten the ball from them.
A nice gain of 21 yards.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit. Detroit. Hot. Hot.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Over the middle, complete. It's Andrews. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 27. And they try to sweep to Jones. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. Dancing to it, and he lost the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, that's a down and distance coach is always talking about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long, and you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Escaping the pressure right. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Detroit!
They'll run it here. This is James White. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Gun! Detroit! Detroit!
They'll look to throw here on first down. He's going to wind up and air it out. That's caught inside the 20. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Ted Ginn, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Pats have taken the early lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
Play action. Now Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And that will set him up in excellent shape. First and goal at the 9-yard line.
I think they're going to have to make some decisions here. That's his second fumble here in the first quarter. And what I mean by that is, do you have the confidence to stay with him? Or are you going to have to make a change and maybe go to someone else?
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. This is caught. Gronkowski. That'll bring up second and goal after the gain of 5.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They'll give it to him up the middle. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Here's another second and goal, this time from half the distance closer. He'll look to throw. Incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. And it's third and short.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
They'll run. This is White. Now he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score. James White, his first touchdown on the year. And the Patriots add on to their lead.
But he decided to run it in and got it done on third and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now here come the Ravens. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Danny Shelton busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early. Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
After the penalty, it's Jones. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and really think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
While we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore, I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Hot.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Going for the deep ball. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Bruce Ellington, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead. Gostkowski the extra point, and it's now 21-0. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. They go play action here on first down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. Earlier in the quarter when the defense was keying on the run, you said offensively they need to open things up, take some shots downfield. Didn't work there, but they did it.
Yeah, I'm not going to change my tune now. I still think it's the right play because when you take those shots downfield, you open the eyes of the defense to what you could do to them, and that may open some things up for you offensively.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
Now whistles blow and the Patriots are going to take another timeout. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Watch it now, Barney.
4th down, here's Jackson. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. First red zone chance now for the Ravens. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. That is caught at the 7-yard line. A good display of footwork. It gets him just inside the 5 to the 4. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. 3rd and goal, Jackson. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks. and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
On play action, they'll throw. Over the middle, it's taken in by Gronkowski. And he's able to get this one up to the 45-yard line. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Gone, 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 gone. All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56. Black 99 Philly, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Gone, 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 gone. Gone, 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 gone. Hot.
Back to throw. He's got it to James White. And a fast footwork by White. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. It doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's first and 10.
Blue 90. Blue 90. Hot. Hot.
They'll drop to throw. Looking for Gronkowski, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Gronkowski, the intended target. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions cool.
And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack. A minute 59 to go in the first half. Back to Foxborough after this. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Detroit! Detroit! Hot! Hot!
To throw is Jackson. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now Jackson on first down. And incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Here we go now. Clean up.
To throw again. Jackson. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. 23 yards on the play. This quarterback now 9 of 17 through the air. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Ravens get a bit closer.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps. But they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in a second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Sliding out of the pocket. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. It's caught inside the 25. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Looking for Gronkowski, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Gronkowski, the intended receiver. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Ravens draw a bit closer. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 21-17. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Looking deep downfield. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And Gostkowski's kick is good. So all right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit! Hot!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He completes it right side to White. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Here's Ryan Allen now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. This is fielded at the 7. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Jackson now off the bootleg. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Dante Hightower in there to drop him the 7th time tonight. He's gone down. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Jackson throwing the out route incomplete. It's Andrews. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From midfield now, here's Jackson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. So the Patriots coming out now. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up. Wanting to get a good get off on the snap, jump too quickly.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. They'll look to throw here. He's going to air one out. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. And the movement there coming from the middle of the line.
And you understand he wants to get off the ball quickly, but the ball's right in front of him. He has to watch it move first.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now back to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go, second look.
Back to throw here. A deep ball for Ellington. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, look, credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll let it fly in the direction again. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. This is taken at the 23. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. They go play action with Jackson. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good. And that will tie us at 24. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Patriots gearing up to go now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They begin the drive on the ground. It's White. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They stay on the ground with White. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Didn't have a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Ellington has it, middle of the field. And he's going to be ripped down by the face mask at the end of this, and that's going to add 15 more onto the end of this thing. The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. And he slides to avoid the hit. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. New England on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Gone!
He'll look to throw. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Detroit!
They're going to look to throw. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. The 20. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
And now out come the Patriots. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do.
It's caught inside the 25. And he is taken down deep in Baltimore territory. A big play there for New England. 58 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And, Charles, this infraction's going to be against the offense. False start.
Sometimes you have to get up to the line of scrimmage, make sure your team is set before you begin your cadence.
The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. They'll set up to throw. Caught on the left side by Ginn. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That one good for 12 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Goes underneath here to White. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. James White with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Patriots are within an extra point of tying this one up. Extra point, hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And that will tie our game here in the third. So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Ravens taking the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now a play fake here on first down. Fights off the defender. Flushed out right. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Play action. It's Jackson. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And this is caught at the 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Rashad Perriman, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have broken the tie.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Going up top. And this is taken in. It's complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. It's a big play there for the Patriots. 41 yards. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 34. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Now a carry for White. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Back to throw. He's got White here. And he gets it down to the 32. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Chung. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Over the middle, Dorsett. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. A very solid gain of 27. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. They keep it on the ground. White again. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
They'll run for it. This is White. And he is in. Touchdown, New England. James White, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Patriots are within an extra point of tying this one up. He's got the hat trick, 3 touchdowns now.
Did you throw yours? Did you throw yours?
I didn't have mine. You got yours. You've got one of those Abe Lincoln hats.
Yeah, and that stovepipe is going right out there for him. A nose for the end zone. 3rd time today. I think he deserves a tip of the cap.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. We come up here on 1st and 10. Room here to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
This time, Jackson will throw it. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Stays on his feet. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Jackson now. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. And he puts a little something extra into this one. By far his best of the night. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there and handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Being chased out left. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Third and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Looking to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Now a first down carry by Jones. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Jackson to throw. Steps away to his left. The Ravens get a new set of downs. Give them 17 on that pickup.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
Set. 319. 319.
A give to Jones. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Here's Jackson. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Now whistles blow, and the Patriots are going to take another timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. The Ravens on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing now is Jackson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, But boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Yr2Wk4. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And this one is right through. And they have regained the lead. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.